Are you ready for the latest and greatest Sarasota Manatee County real estate market update? Now, this data just came out yesterday. It's for the month of June 2024. What we'll be doing is comparing May until June. What happened? What changed? Did we have more sales? Less sales? Did the prices go up? Did the prices go down? All of this. We have 5 key metrics that we track. Let's get right into it. And to start off, this is actually the worst metric that we have this month. This is the total number of closed sales. In May, we had 2,338 sales. In June, we had 1,949. This represents a 16.6% decrease month over month. That is a very drastic reduction in the number of homes and condos that sold. This is not a good number. We do not want to continue seeing this. It's basically showing us that there are less buyers in the market right now. Now, possibly people are waiting to see what will happen with the next president, what will happen with interest rate cuts, because we were expecting possibly an interest rate cut in July. Here we are in July, no cuts happened, so maybe all those people in June were just waiting to close now. Okay, now our second metric is the median sales price. Not the average, but the median, which is a more accurate assessment of where prices are at. So take a look at this chart. Now here, as you can tell, we've had a lot of prices coming down, except for Sarasota condos. I'm not sure why they went up, but they're still under $400,000. Now you'll probably notice that single family homes in Sarasota went down the most. They went down by 6.6%. That's a pretty drastic price cut if you ask me. If we continue on this trend, we're gonna be at $450 before you know it. However, I will say this. As you look back at the charts month over month over month over month, you'll see that they're kind of always floating right around the same range here. They go up and down $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. And that's exactly what happened here, except it was down $35,000. And that's only for single family homes in Sarasota. So as we kind of zoom out, all we can see right now is that prices are not dropping. We are expecting them to drop a little bit, but they've barely dropped at all. So let's just see what keeps happening with our interest rates, because that's usually the biggest indicator of what's going to happen with prices. Because as interest rates go up, then we have more homes on the market for sale. And as that happens, then eventually prices start dropping. All right, let's get into a good metric, and this is the months of inventory. So if you don't know, when we have 5.5 to 6 months worth of inventory, that's considered to be a balanced market. Anything less is a seller's market. Anything more is a buyer's market. So take a look at this chart. Surprisingly, for Sarasota, both condos and single family homes, nothing changed. 5.0 months and 6.3 months. So obviously we're in a slight buyer's market for condos, and we are in a slight seller's market for the single family homes. Now, regarding Manatee County, we'll take a look. We had a slight decrease in the single family homes and a pretty big decrease in the months of inventory for the condos. So condos just went to an equilibrium, and the single family homes are in a seller's market. I'll be honest with you, I was expecting these numbers to look a lot worse than they are. I was expecting to see a whole bunch of buyer's markets, but we are not there yet. And I do say yet because I do think we will get there, unless of course we have drastic reductions in our interest rates. And by drastic, I mean getting down to 5.5 from our 7.5 that we're at right now. All right, and if you're a seller, this next metric is going to be important to you. This is actually the days of listing to contract. How long is it going to take for you to list your home and then be under contract? Is it going to be 5 days or 500 days? Well, let's take a look here. Unfortunately, in June, it took longer than it did in May for homes to go under contract. As you can tell, both single family homes in Sarasota and Manatee County went up significantly. This is a huge thing, but take a look, it's actually not as bad as you think. I mean, you went from 43 days to 50 for Sarasota and 45 days to 57 days, which is a pretty big increase, but it's still only 57 days. And I remember in the Great Recession, the conversation wasn't how long is it going to be before I'm under contract. It was reversed, and it said, will we go under contract? So we're not even close to that position right now. We are at 57 days and 50 days, but condos are definitely looking worse. As you can tell, we went from 61 days to 59 days, and that's an improvement, but it's still, pretty rough in terms of how many days. It's more than Sarasota single family homes. And same with Manatee condos. They actually increased significantly from from 56 days to 73 days. That is a 30% increase. Craziness. So now let's finish up with our last metric. Okay, our last metric is the total number of homes for sale at the end of the month. We call this the inventory. And this one is important because it's going to show you if you have more competition in June than you did in May. And take a look, it's actually kind of surprising. In May, we had 9,277 active listings, and in June, we went down to 8,990. We had a 3.1% decrease in listings. And how does this all relate back to the big picture? Well, it's fairly simple. As our inventory keeps going down, which by the way is the third month in a row that our inventory is decreasing, as it keeps going down, we basically are seeing that the sellers are not willing to sell in the current market conditions. A lot of them are not willing to sell because if they sell, they have to give up a low interest rate to trade it for a high interest rate. If we continue having less and less listings, then we might get to a point where we have less and less sales because there's just not enough good inventory for people to say, yes, this home is good enough for me, I want it, and then they buy it. So we need to pay attention to that one, as well as, of course, the Fed fund rate, the interest rates, the jobs market. This is all important. If you have questions, please let me know. I will be glad to answer.